Despite the fact that I stole Grandma's tamale masa, she showed me how ground, toasted pumpkin seeds can make a flavorful tamale filling. Then she rolled them up in banana leaves. Don't you want the tamale treatment? I do. Gifting yourself the human tamale experience? Priceless. But seriously, these Maya-style tamales turn out perfect, with a homemade red salsa or with Grandma's crushed habanero salsa that is so spicy that even Grandma refuses to eat it. When I saw Grandma walking down the street with everything she needs to make tamales, I had to introduce myself.
Estoy aquí en Tulum, en Quintana Roo, con la mejor chef de todo el barrio, Abuela Neri, y ella nos va a mostrar cocinar.
Brazo de Reina.
Ah, perfecto. Aquí tenemos la masa. ¿Y esta cómo se llama?
Chaya.
Ah, mira, esas hojas de chaya, y tradicional de aquí de Quintana Roo y también de Yucatán. Bueno. Ok, qué suerte tengo hoy. Vamos a cocinar.
Vamos.
A la cocina.
As soon as I got to Grandma's house, we enlisted the help of her daughter to help cut down some of these banana leaves that we'll be wrapping the tamales in. If you ask my parents, they'll tell you, I've never been very good at yard work, but I figured I could handle this. I've only ever had tamales wrapped in corn husks, but banana leaves are used in the more tropical regions of Mexico. To my surprise, Grandma fired up the oven and started prepping the leaves by running them over an open flame. The purpose is to soften up the leaves so they'll be malleable enough to wrap the tamales.
Sale bien. Cuando veas que ya está cambiando de color, la vas corriendo.
La espinaca más grande del mundo. Mira, mamá, estoy ayudando en la cocina. Es como una spa de vapor, ¿no? Por eso el piel se mantiene jovencito. It's changing color. That's how you know that it's done. Ouch. Ooh, and it's really hot. That's how you know it's done.
Once you've prepped the leaves, lay them on a flat surface and cut lengthwise alongside the stem. If you're bad with knives, ask a friend for help.
Creo que voy a ser experto en hacer brazo de reina. Ya puedo jubilarme. Voy a empezar una tiendita de brazo de reina.
Vas a vender mucho.
Sí, lo más famoso de todo el pueblo.
Do you love eggs from your head down to your legs? Well, this episode's for you. This recipe can be made with ground meat, but today we'll be doing a traditional Maya-style brazo de reina stuffed with hard-boiled eggs. So go ahead and put 2 dozen in a big old pot full of water and bring it to a boil. Next, it's time to wash the chaya to make sure there aren't any stowaways. While bugs are a valuable source of protein, you'll want your tamales to be insect-free, or your friends and your family will never let you cook for them ever again, and that would be bad.
Sin llevarse los dedos.
Chop, chop, chop the chaya, because we're going to be integrating it into the masa. If you don't know what masa is, it's the corn dough that tamales are made of. I predict that chaya will be the next kale, and soon your hippie friends will be putting it in everything.
¿Y qué es el próximo paso?
Bueno, ahorita le vamos a echar la manteca.
Manteca hace todo más rico.
Sí.
Realmente para hacer un muy buen tamal o algo con masa, hay que echarle un poco de manteca, ¿no?
Don't forget the salt, and lots of it. Tamale masa usually requires quite a bit. Now let's work the chaya into the masa so all of the tamales are speckled with delicious green bits of chaya goodness.
Bien,
Wow.
revuelto todo,
Okay.
todo.
Estoy usando la fuerza adecuada.
Más fuerte.
I could do this all day. This feels really nice on my hands. There's something therapeutic about making tamales.
¿Ya te cansaste? ¿Te ayudo?
Sí, adelante. Wow. Mira cómo la abuela lo hace en comparación. Ella sabe. Esa es alguien que ya tiene años de experiencia. Are you guys seeing this trick? Scoop it up with your hand and then push it down and in. From the outside, pushing it down and in. That's a really good tip for making tamales. But now that I see the way that abuela does it, I'm gonna do it this way from now on. This is why we cook with grandmas, because we learned the real techniques about how to make authentic Mexican food. Did you hear that? When you see that the masa doesn't stick to your hands, that's when you know that it's time, that it's ready to prepare into the tamale. That's cool. ¿Y este qué es exactamente?
Esta es pepita molida.
Pepito molido, ¿lo puedo
Sí,
tocar?
claro.
Wow. Eso es una semilla.
Es semilla de calabaza.
Semilla de
Se
calabaza.
mueve.
Tiene muchísimo sabor. Por eso lo usan, ¿no?
Sí, es muy riquísimo.
Take a good quantity of the toasted pumpkin seed and mix in some salt.
Y esto es muy bueno cuando tienes gripas en el estómago.
¿Sí? ¿Escucharon eso?
De calabaza.
Ok. Después de comer en la calle en México, tengo por bastantes bichos.
Bastantes bichos.
I probably don't need to say this, but take the shells off of the hard-boiled eggs. Watch as Grandma Neri takes a handful of masa and smooths it out on the banana leaf. You want to make a shape that's about as wide and thick as a dinner plate. Then comes 2 spoonfuls of toasted pumpkin seed, followed by a quartered hard-boiled egg. Okay, let's see how Grandma rolls.
Está riquísimo esto, van a ver.
Sí.
Va a estar.
Yo quiero que la mía salga como la suya.
It's easy to get jealous of a Mexican grandmother's tamale making skills. Every one of Grandma Neri's tamales turns out perfectly. I can't say the same for mine.
Ya lo quiero comer.
Todavía falta cocinar. Esto ya está listo.
Mira, tamal de la abuela Neri. Okay, I'm gonna try. I don't know if it'll turn out as well as Grandma's, but let's see if I can do this.
Hey, rolling a tamale is harder than it looks.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Ya.
Mine may not be the best looking tamale on the block, but it's gonna be delicious.
Hay que darlo cariño, como si fuera tu primer hijito.
Pero no tan fuerte porque está lindo.
Tal vez no estoy hecho para ser papá. Que no veas, ¿ok? Mira por allá.
FYI, if you make this dish without toasted pumpkin seed, it's not Brazo de Reina. The tamale is perhaps the oldest recipe in Mexico, far outdating the taco, which came to popularity in the 1800s. The tamale has been around for thousands of years. For this reason, there are hundreds and hundreds of variations, like this one, Brazo de Reina, one of the most celebrated dishes of the Maya people of the Yucatan Peninsula. It's incredible to think of the ancient Maya preparing this recipe like Grandma Neri is preparing it right now. However, her ancestors didn't have manteca, or pig lard, to work with. Like everyone in Mexico will tell you, manteca makes tamales tastier. Tamales made with vegetable oil, they're not the same. Have these images of Grandma Neri rolling tamales helped you learn? Please send me photos of your Brazo de Reina so I can see how it turned out. Take note of the amount of water she uses in her tamale steamer. Now cover the bottom with banana leaves and start laying the tamales flat along the edges. She lays the tamales around the circumference of the steamer so that the steam can travel unimpeded up to the tamales on the top layer. Look at these valuable grandma cooking tips you learn when you watch my show. For this quantity, Grandma will let the tamales steam for about an hour and a half. Now, for the red salsa we'll serve on top of the tamales. First, dice up a bunch of ripe red tomatoes and put them in the blender. Second is a white onion. And third, just 2 cloves of garlic. As you can see, the tomatoes are so full of water that you don't need to add extra H2O like you do with some salsas. Heat up a bit of vegetable oil in a pot and add the salsa. Cook the salsa in the hot oil for about 10 minutes. An hour and a half later, Grandma says it's time to check our Brazo de Reina. I don't know about you, but I'm eager to see how they turned out. I wonder if I could eat all of these by myself. Oh man, they are so plump and tender, just begging to be eaten by yours truly. If these images of Grandma Neri's tamales aren't making you hungry, please go to the doctor and get yourself checked out. Watch as Grandma lovingly ladles some of that tomato, onion, garlic salsa over the Brazo de Reina to complement the already assertive flavor of the toasted pumpkin seeds. I think it's about time the host of your favorite YouTube show got to try the Brazo de Reina for himself.
¡Wow! Se ve increíble.
Listo.
Ok. El Brazo de la Reina.
Brazo de Reina.
Estilo abuela Neri. Estoy tan... Yo sé que me va a gustar. Vamos a ver. También pueden ustedes ver adentro un poco. Increíble. Todo el huevo adentro. Se puede también ver el color de la semilla tostada. Ok. Mi primer mordisco. Con toda la salsita casera. This is going to be delicious. A los mayas.
Provecho.
Me encanta el sabor.
Pero te faltó algo.
Me encanta. ¿Me faltó?
Eso le da mucho mejor sabor.
¿Ese de qué chile es?
Chile habanero.
Chile habanero. ¿Quieres picar al gringo? Bueno, estamos en tierras mayas. Ok.
Poquito.
Si yo muero, dejo todas mis cosas a mi hermano.
Es mucho.
Oh, bueno, ya está. I'm going to eat habanero chile. Last words, últimas palabras. Are you ready? Agua. Yo sé que voy a necesitar agua. Ok. Oh, de una me pega. ¿Cómo es posible? ¡Ja! ¡Oh! Agüita, por favor, abuela.
¿Te traigo agua?
Agüita, por favor,
agua?
sí. Ya estoy llorando. ¿Ves eso? Ah, Grandma's trying to kill me. What did I do to Grandma? That she would do this? This salsa is so hot. You couldn't tell by looking at it. This is the spiciest salsa I have ever tried. Gracias.
Fuego.
Fuego. Well, I'm not sure I have any taste buds left. No sé si tengo todavía papilas porque se quemaron un poco, pero
Quedaste colorado.
ya estoy un poco rosado, ¿no? Ay, Dios, pero muchísimas gracias por enseñarme hoy la receta, me encantó.
Gracias a ti.
Me encanta estar aquí en Tierras Mayas con la gente de Yucatán y Quintana Roo, aquí en Tulum, México. Ven a probar un auténtico tamal. Perfecto, voy a comer más, pero sin más salsa. ¡Woo!
Koshana, vamos a comer.
Gracias, Grandma Neri, for teaching us to make your delicious Brazo de Reina.